Here we are. Saturday night, and you ain't got nobody. Well, that used to be true until now. Here we are, my friends. Here we are. Look at this. Here we are. There's so much I want to talk to you about. So much I want to tell you. So much. You know, I think of this stuff during the day. I'm saying, I want to tell them that. Can I start off before we get into the political part? Can I explain this to you? First thing, do not put up with disrespect from people. Do not. Life is too short. This goes for everybody. Family, friends, neighbors, everybody. I can't say it enough. For some people, family's a wonderful thing. To other people, it's the most treacherous group of cutthroats you've ever seen in your life. And you never realize just how much abuse you take, so don't take it. Stand up for yourself. If you don't, nobody else will. That's all I want to tell you. That's all I want to tell you. I've got my Christmas. My mug is in the washer, and I got my Christmas mug right here. Because I feel like Christmas. And you can't stop me. Nothing you can do to stop me. 80 degrees today. You had street fairs. A New York street fair, nothing like it. Tube socks, sausages, the usual stuff. They sell things that you would not ever buy anyplace else. But for some reason, it just smells great. I love the smell of the grease. I don't eat it. I just love the smell of the grease. That's what today was. So remember what I'm telling you. Don't put up with anything. And make sure you like the video. I need your likes. I need your likes. It's critical. Now let's get down to brass tacks. All right. Let's get down to the studs, the brass tacks. You know, the part of the carpet where you see the tacks. What are you going to do? What are we going to do? 2024. What are we going to do? What? What are we going to do? It's easier said than done. What are you going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And I'm telling anybody who will listen. Whoever is the Republican nominee, even though I do not care for Republicans, that's for me. It's simple. If it's Ron DeSantis, great. If it's Nikki Haley, great. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. They can be a low cap, small R, big R Republican. I don't care. I don't care. Because this, what's going on right now, I don't care what you say. It's over. It's nuts. It's crazy. How do I know this? How do I know this? Because I'm hearing everybody say, this is crazy. Everything's crazy. I love it. I love it. That's the best thing I'm hearing. I mean to tell you at every... And Trump's not even involved in it. Say, no, don't bring up Trump. Trump's just doing his thing. He's got his problems with Jean Carroll. Why is he saying? Why is he being Trump? I don't know. I don't know. Why does he do this? Why? Why do you say this? Don't call her a nut job. Say she's got problems. Say she's got problems. Poor thing. I hope she gets the help she needs. I hope she gets the help she needs and maybe the attention. Say anything, but you're a whack job. But you know, it's too late. It's too late. Because that's the way Trump is. That's the way he is. Do you hear what I'm saying? And I will take him in a heartbeat. A heartbeat. Even though it's going to be a disaster. Because here's the issue. Listen to me carefully. It's going to be a disaster with him, and it's going to be a bigger disaster without him. You know it's getting worse. Where did this come? When did this happen? When did it get this nuts this fast? Tell me. Tell me. When? I don't get it. Do you know when this happened? I don't. When did this happen? I don't know when this happened. What is this? Please explain to me, when did puberty blocking, when did this even become an issue? When? Please tell me, when did this happen? There's always been gay issues, always been issues regarding a lot of stuff. When did puberty blocking and transgender, when? Please, when? When? Who was asking for that? Who was saying, I can't wait for one day where we're finally going to do something about getting men in women's sports? And you have no idea. We are the most moderate, the most open. We know, you got to take my word for it. Mrs. L and I know more people, she in particular. We know more people, more gay people and lesbian. And do we even have lesbians? I don't even know. I'm not trying to be cute here. I don't even know. I don't know. Gay has nothing to do with anything. People dress, cross-dress, whatever, transvestites, it doesn't matter. There was a picture I think I showed you of this man who used to be in Chelsea. Everybody knew him. He wore, I think I showed you this picture. I think he was Colombian or something. He had this little dog. It was pink, and he wore these. You should have seen this. Loved. He was a man with a beard who dressed in these, kind of Kremlin, ballerina kind of dresses, and nobody can. No, I thought it was great. It didn't matter. He was an adult, could do whatever he wants. He was on the street, didn't bother anybody. People loved him. Kids loved him. He had this little dog. Nobody cares. This isn't a homophobic community in the least. I don't know anybody. I don't care. I don't know whether, remember years ago it started with, they wanted to change bathrooms. Remember that? Remember this? This is a while back. Bathrooms. Bathroom. It starts very innocuously with bathrooms. Why is this a problem? I should be able to go into a ladies' bathroom, but you're a man. It doesn't matter. This was mild. Remember that? Remember when bathrooms happened? Remember this? Bathrooms. And we thought, is this a problem? Is this really a problem? I mean, maybe not. I don't know. But I thought I never knew there were this many people actually going through so many pains, saying, I can't wait till one day I'm able to go and to use the ladies' bathroom. All I want is to be able to use a ladies' bathroom. That's it. Really? Yes. Where have you been? It doesn't matter where I've been. It means the world to me. Really? Yes. Thousands of us. Since when? Since now. My God. Remember that? That was nothing. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. This is, and most of the time, most people figure, I don't know about you, but in New York, where you go to a concert, if there's a woman or a man in there, well, I mean, it's, I don't know about you, but I don't spend a lot of time in public restrooms, so it's a very quick thing. You've been in a football game or something. Sometimes poor women would, some woman would just have to, use a. Okay, that was then. How did we get from that to this? What happened? What happened? What about doctors? If you had gone to your doctor, your pediatrician, 10 years ago, 10, probably 10 years, 15 years, and said, listen, little Morgan here said to me that she wants to be a little boy. Or is it, I don't know if one's more, but anyway, let's say a little boy wants to be a little girl. Okay? I want you to immediately start, doctor, puberty blocking. I want to prep her for surgery. I don't know if my insurance has, but we want her to make sure she has puberty blocking now, as we speak, right now. What do you think your physician would have said? What do you think your pediatrician would have said? I'm serious. They would have said, I've never. Doctor, do you know of a hospital I can go to? Well, not really. Can you look into this? Well, I can look into this, but I don't think I'm going to find anything. You don't understand. We have to act quickly because we have to get this done before puberty sets in. Now, pick the one. And I don't mean some, clinic in Guadalajara. I'm talking major. What happened? I turned to you. What happened? What happened? Where did the medical profession come? 10 years ago, they would have said, you're out of your mind. I'm not going to be a part of this. I could lose my license. Today, you can lose your license if you don't. Tell me what happened. When did it change? When did it change? What was it? It's not Joe Biden. He didn't do this. Joe Biden never brought this up. Kamala Harris never brought this up. Democrats didn't bring this up. Nancy Pelosi, AOC absolutely, positively celebrates her femininity, as does Ilhan Omar, as does Rashida Tlaib, as does Ayanna Pressley, as does everyone. Everyone. Where is this? When did this happen? I don't know. Nobody can answer my question. When was there this rush to not just allow illegals or whatever particular phrase you want to use, but this swarm? A swarm, thousands, nobody knows. People here in this area, parts of New Jersey, the white buses. Who are these people? There they come. Where are they coming from? And let me go on the record and say something right now. I absolutely, positively have no problems, no feelings of contempt or dislike or anything towards the individual. I have no problem with them trying to get the best for their family to come to this country. I have absolutely no. Now, some of these people aren't good. Some of these have records. Some of them are drug pushers. I understand this. I understand. But the vast majority, no. We see them here all the time. You can always tell. Families, new backpacks. Can you imagine coming all of a sudden? Here you go. Here's a backpack. Here's an iPad. I guess you have service, some type of internet service. They're looking for jobs. They're going to school. These kids don't even speak English. You're just going into. I have no problem whatsoever. None. But when did this happen? What happened? When did critical legal studies come up? When did critical race theory come up? When did this transformation of the criminal justice system, no cash bond, release people? When did this defund the police? When did this happen? When? What was it? It was waiting. They were waiting. They were waiting up till now. Do you understand it? And it's going to get worse. This is just the beginning. So we know, you know, and I know, that you've got some chances. First of all, you got DeSantis. DeSantis leaves me flat. Maybe one day he'll be good. If he's the nominee, I'll vote for him, no problem. No problem. Nikki Haley, anybody. I don't care. They got a Republican. At least there's a chance. Then there's Trump. Let me ask you a question. Would you vote for Trump right now? Yeah. I don't know who his running mate would be, but just Trump. Yes or no? If Trump was on the ballot, forget the Democrat. Would you vote for Trump? Would you vote for Trump right now? If Trump's on the ballot, he's the only Republican. Would you vote for him? And if you don't, if you say, no, I won't, that means you're going to vote what, Democrat? You're going to write somebody in? You're going to split the vote? You're going to dilute the vote? You're going to do what? What are you going to do? Some third party? Throw your vote away? Go ahead. It's up to you. Would you vote for Trump right now? Would you do it? Because he's a nut. He's a nut. He says stupid things. It's going to be crazy. All your friends are going to be going crazy. Oh my God, Christmas, forget Christmas, Thanksgiving, and we're screaming and yelling, why you voted for Trump? Get out. Get out. Would you do this? Would you go through this again? Would you? You want to go through 4 more years of that hell? They're going to go after him. They're going to impeach him 3, 4, 5, 6 times. They may get him this time. They're going to get him. They're going to go crazy. He won't have a DOJ that works. He won't have an AG that works. He'll appoint some judges. Who wants to be his vice president? Who wants to be in his cabinet? 4 more years of this? You better believe it. Of course you would. Of course you would. Compared to what? There's no other choice. There's no choice. Because I don't care how many Thanksgivings and Christmases and friends that I've got. We just had some, I think I told you, we had some friends of ours, a friend of mine who passed away recently, and all of the people that we went to high school with, some weren't even talking to each other because of Trump. Can you believe that? Finally, I think they put this lunacy aside. But compared to what's going on now, compared to this, take Trump in a heartbeat. I'll take that. Compared to this, 4 more years of this, what next? It went from bathrooms to puberty blockers. What the hell? Who's what? What? Talked to a friend of mine today. Ran into him. He's Russian. Oh. I talk about that on my private channel. You can't. No. You can't imagine. You can't imagine that story. I'll just leave it at that. You want 4 more years of this? 4 more years of Trump? 4 more years of Gavin Newsom? 4 more years of Carmelita? 4 more years of this? What are they going to do next? What are they going to do? After puberty blocking, after transition, after men's sports, what? After the border, what? After trying to defund the police, what? After pushing for reparations, you know there's going to be reparations. You know it. Absolutely. What next? You want to risk that? You want to risk that? Now, let me ask you a question. Now, this is the toughest one. This would never work. I'm just giving you a hypothetical. This would never work in the real world. But I want you to answer this question for me. Imagine as follows. Trump versus Bobby Kennedy Jr. Who would you vote for? Think about it. Think carefully. Trump or Bobby Kennedy? That's right, a Democrat. That's just any Democrat, Bobby Kennedy Jr. versus Trump. Think about it. I know you're not thinking this one. This is a catch. This is a catch. You're not thinking this one. You're going to say Trump. Because you're not thinking about this. You're voting because you just like him. Or I'm going to say, okay, Mr. Trump, how much of your stuff do you think you're going to get done? How much do you think? How much? Remember, he was doing great, then COVID and everything else. Economy was doing great. Unemployment was great. Okay. How much do you think Bobby Kennedy is going to get done? I'm just asking. How much do you think he can get done? How much do you think? As a Democrat. Now, he's going to have some baggage, too. He's going to have some baggage. First of all, he's going to pick judges. You know, he's going to, his climate policy, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know where his real hard left, but he's anti-war. And I'll explain war. Anti-war. Pro-choice, abortion is not going to be effective because that's just states' rights and that's up to you and that's the way it should be and that's fine. So that's not going to affect anything. That's going to be it. War. Russia? How's he going to handle that? What's he going to do with that? Did you hear what he said? How about transgender? You hear about that? The border? What if he can get stuff done? See, Trump is going to be like, it's going to be a roadblock. He'll appoint judges. He'll get that. I don't know if he's going to need, I don't know who's going to be. I don't think there's going to be anybody leaving in a long time. So I think they're all pretty much settled. So I don't think he's going to have any Supreme Court justice. That's set for a while. So what? What's he going to do? It's time to think about this stuff. Now, what I'm asking you is not going to happen. The Democrats are going to let Bobby Kennedy near this. Not going to let him but he's scaring people. And the thing about Bobby Kennedy, for some reason, is they like him, and I don't understand why. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's the name. Maybe I think you saw this incredible bravery when it came to speaking his mind as to immunology and autism and vaccines. I mean, the people just they couldn't believe it, and you knew at any moment there's no way they could let this guy go this far, this loud, this long. But they did. Do you understand this? Ladies and gentlemen, Gritsky, Dusty Rhodes would make a great president. He would simply drop an elbow. Thank you for this. This is do you see this kindness? Do you see this kindness? Let me tell you right now, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is incredible. Thank you for this. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm moved that somebody would show this kindness. Thank you, Gretzky. Dusty Rhodes, Golden Thole. Dusty Rhodes was the greatest professional wrestler of all time. Period. The best. I saw him more than anybody. Virgil Riley Runnels, the greatest ever. Bionic Elbow Gonthole. Remember this? Son of Plymouthon, I got hard time. Remember that? That was the greatest. Nobody can touch it. And by the way, Gretzky, let me just remind you of this. Remember this? Do you know why? The person that was the most responsible, that Dusty Rhodes turned to, that Dusty Rhodes patterned himself after. Not only that, but Elvis, Elton John, James Brown, everybody else, Ric Flair, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, Nature Boy Ric Flair. Go down the list. Freddie Mercury, Gorgeous George. Gorgeous George Wagner was the inspiration for all of that. Gorgeous George. I'm telling you, people don't get it. There's certain things people don't understand. They don't understand this. They don't understand this. They don't get it. They don't understand how when I tell people about wrestling, they don't, just like with AI, AGI. Oh, nobody, they look at me like, what are you talking about? It's like, I'm telling you. But thank you. You're a good person. Let me ask you this much. Why do we need a human? I'm dead serious. I talk about this a lot. Why do we have a human? Why are humans so great? Why do we want to have a human as a... If I can have an art and AGI politicians, why is it that we have to have a human being? What is so special about being a human? What? What does a human bring to the game? Please tell me. I beg you. What does a human bring to the game? What? Human can be bribed. Do you think Mitch McConnell brings anything special? Do you think anybody does? What is this humanity that a human brings? If I have an if I have a candidate, if I have something that is powered by AGI that knows everybody's name and it wants to get elected, it knows everybody's name. It knows every person in the human body. It knows every budget. It knows everything. Remember, 4 things it can do. Recursive self-improvement. It can write its own code. It'll change things. It'll understand. Number 2, it figures out human psychology. It knows what to say. Now, the form of this is going to be different. There'll be a form, the uncanny valley. Do some research on that. There has to be a form. You can't just say, well, there has to be something. It has to be a name, has to be an image, has to be something, some CGI created something or other. But the second thing is human. It understands psychology. It understands what you want. It understands what you need. It understands what works with you. Is it history? It will study every campaign and know everything that's ever been said. It knows. The third thing is it has access to every bit of the internet, every bit of information, every bit of data, every name, every address, every budget, every person. And number 4, it writes its own API or its own apps. And it understands it, and it runs for office, and it says, here's what I'm going to do. And it applies something. And let's assume it were to say that further funding, theoretically, of Ukraine either does or doesn't make sense based upon something, it would explain it to you. It wouldn't be necessarily Victoria Nuland that it would be doing, but it would tell you, this is what I believe. And what would AGI say about the Supreme Court, about constitutional rights? AGI would understand. It would understand that if you want to have abortion rights, go ahead and have your state's rights. But it will understand that the only 3 rights, the only 3 provisions in the Constitution that is mentioned whatsoever is you cannot deprive somebody of life, liberty, or property without due process. That's the only thing is mentioned. There is no right, there is no guarantee of abortion. There is nothing in the Constitution which guarantees certain forms of marriage. In fact, the Constitution doesn't mention marriage. However, under the Equal Protection Clause, if you treat people differently under certain situations, that's why Loving against Virginia. That's why the anti-miscegenation laws were struck down, because it was equal protection also. Whites and blacks couldn't marry, but whites and Asians could. Others are like, wait a minute. It wasn't necessarily a right to marriage. It was a misappropriation. It was a misallocation. It was a lack of equality of treatment. AGI could do this. Why do we need humans? Why? What do we need? What is it? But what determines its motivation? Would you have an AGI Republican or an AGI Democrat? What would it be? What, if left to its own devices, what would it say? Would it do a cost-benefit analysis? Would it say, this is what I want to do? Or would it naturally seek out what you would call liberal positions or the like? Listen to what I'm telling you. AGI is going to be the greatest thing. You have no idea. Hey, are you stockbrokers out there? What do I need you for? What do I need you for? Do you need me? Do you need me Do I need, is somebody going to need, do I need to be here? Can somebody say, we'll come up. If you want to watch somebody do a show or do whatever it is, we will give you somebody that you like. We will give it somebody for you. How do you like that? We will give this to you. We will give you your own show. You might want to watch Steve Bannon, and you might want to watch Rachel Maddow. What if AGI says, hey, what we're going to do? We're going to give you a show. You control what it is. Do you want leftist or rightist? Do you want conspiracy-minded? What do you want? What do you want to hear? This is what Roger Ailes said. I will give you the greatest show you've ever seen, with people saying exactly what you want them to say. Would you do that? Listen to what I'm saying. Would you listen to something that wasn't real? What good does human really mean? What is so good about human? Tell me. What do we do as humans that are so terrific? What? What? Will AGI ever employ itself in the world of religion? Will AGI accept faith, or will AGI be an atheist? Think about that one. You're going to have questions that are so existential you cannot believe. Oh God, I don't think people are ready for this. I kind of think, well, I don't think I'm going to be. I don't think people are really digging what I'm saying, because it hasn't hit home yet. It hasn't hit, How about this next? Marine charged in subway chokehold was known for being fun and inclusive, and loved ones say he's being railroaded. Stop calling it a chokehold. Let me say this again, and please join me. It is not a chokehold. It is not throat or larynx or trachea. It doesn't. It didn't obstruct breathing. That's a choke. I don't want to go too much into the specifics, but if you've ever seen people who are sometimes, well, I shouldn't say this, but if you look at certain forms of executions, people aren't choking. Stop saying chokehold. Stop saying it. That's not what it is. I don't know how to say this anymore. Stop saying this. You have no idea how much I would love that case. I would love that case. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have one issue here. Is this behavior reckless? Fred Brown and his band of renown. Thank you. Oh, and Gretzky. Pardon me, I was so overwhelmed. I didn't give you one. Oh, this is nice weather. Perfect. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The humidity. Oh, do you hear that? This is perfect. Ooh. Sometimes I'll just sit by myself. I can see how long I can crank one out. It's a talent. You have no idea. The fun you can have. In church? Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you're here to answer one question. Was Daniel Penny reckless? Was his behavior reckless? If it wasn't, he is not guilty of manslaughter in the second degree. That's it. We will stipulate to everything. Stipulate to homicide. No need to call the medical examiner. No need, unless there's some question as to whatever it was. I want to know what happened. What was the cause of this? Obstruction? What was this? I might want to get a hold of Baden, check this out, make sure if it's okay, but assuming. Call your first witness. I would like to call Marine drill instructor or gunnery sergeant such and such. Gunny, state your name for the record. Gunnery sergeant, no. Do you teach carotid restraints as a part of your Marine training? No, we don't. What? We don't train that. Why? We don't use this on the battlefield. This is for war. Why? This isn't lethal. What if he said that? What was that gonna? This isn't lethal. This doesn't kill people. We don't get. No, we're on the battlefield. We're maybe military police or something. I like to call this. State your name for the record. Joe Rogan. Are you the same Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan Experience? Yes, I am. Mr. Rogan, how many times have you been put into a carotid restraint? How many times? 100 times? How many times have you, in the course of your martial arts, mixed martial arts, how many times have you placed someone in this? Have you killed anybody? No. You never heard of anybody dying? No. And the issue is going to be, he did it for too long. He did it for too long. He held on for too long. He was reckless. That's the only way around this. They're going to say the Marine had the carotid restraint on for too long. That's going to be the tough part. Was it reckless or was it merely careless? Now you're going to say, wait a minute, what's the difference? A whole lot of difference. If it was merely careless, it's not reckless. What did I say? If it was careless, it's not reckless. Oh, yeah? You know the difference between getting a ticket for careless driving and reckless driving? One's criminal, one isn't, depending upon your jurisdiction. Oh, I would research that baby. I would say at most he was careless, but reckless? Absolutely not. You've got a deranged, schizophrenic psychopath going through, screaming and yelling and saying, you better kill me or whatever it is, because I'm not going to stop. You had terrified people, and this brave man, this good Samaritan, stood up and did something. And this is how we treat him. He didn't challenge this person. He didn't pick him out of a crowd. He didn't pick him out of a crowd and do this. No, he did this in response to protecting others. He's a Marine. He took an oath to the Constitution. He was there in the event this country went to battle. He was going to be there. Well, we're in battle every day. Every day on subway, not just in New York City, but all over the place. He's not one of these. Remember Kitty Genovese? Remember that story? The woman who was stabbed? Nobody helped. Nobody intervened. He did. And what do? We prosecute him? We let these other people? How about the people who killed Officer Dorn? How about the people who go into stores and steal? Go into CVS's and Walgreens and Sephora's and take huge emptying bags and walk out. Nobody does anything. Nobody says anything. The lawlessness. When Antifa hurt people, nobody does anything. But this is the man. This isn't George Floyd. This man was there to respond to stop this individual from hurting someone. And the people that came up to him and thanked him. This is going to be a great one. And by the way, you know where Ben Crump is? You know where the lawyers are this? Doesn't have any money. You notice how you don't see the contingents. Because once you can sue a police department, wow, that's a different story. The police department didn't do anything with this. This is how you treat people? Next time there's anybody on a train, somebody says, I don't want to be the next Daniel Penny. No, that's okay. Go ahead and rough up the old lady. One of these days, we're going to have, I asked a friend of mine who was a judge, and I said, would you please tell me where is it that it would be illegal for us to reinvigorate, reconstitute the militia? It's in the Second Amendment. Why can't we have you can, excuse me. And we got into it. I said, tell me where we can have that. Why are... Curtis Sliwa did it years ago, sort of, with his guardian angels on the subway, which was good. People loved it. People felt very happy. The police hated it because they say, who is this guy making us look bad? He's doing his job, and you can't be everywhere. So he and his berate, urban commandos were on various things. But where is it? I ask you, where is this prohibition against a militia? There is none. And you see the way people act? Well, we can't do that. Excuse me. Wait a minute. What? I have one dream. One dream. One day I want the government to fear us. Not that we're violent, not that we're no revolution, none of that stuff. But I want them to say, oh, no, we can't do that. No, these people will not, they will not sit for this. They're not afraid of you. You mean nothing to them. That's my first question. Why cannot we form this? Let me give you something. I want you to look at this. This is my favorite. Well, this is one of my favorites. His name is Tench Cox. I think I've told you about Mr. Cox. He was called the Pennsylvanian. And he is one of my, Tench Cox. I went and I visited his grave, his tomb, I should say, in Philadelphia. And his quotes are beautiful. May I read something? Who are the militia? Are they not ourselves? Is it feared then that we shall turn our arms, each man against his own bosom? Congress have no power to disarm the militia. Their swords and every other terrible implement of the soldier are the birthright of an Americans. Interesting use of plurals here and there. The powers of the sword are in the hands of the yeomanry of America from 16 to 60. The militia of these free commonwealths, entitled and accustomed to their arms when compared with any possible army, must be tremendous and irresistible. Who are the militia? Are they not ourselves? Yes. As civil rulers, not having their duty to the people duly before them, may attempt to tyrannize. The people are confirmed by the next article in their right to keep and bear arms. This is Tench Cox. As our president bears no resemblance to a king, so we shall see the Senate has no similitude to nobles. First, not being hereditary, their collective knowledge, wisdom, and virtue are not precarious. For by these qualities alone are they to obtain their offices, and they will have none of the peculiar qualities and vices of these men who possess power merely because their father held it before them. Yeah. Ford Frey. Thank you, Ford. Ford says, I'm rooting for RFK Jr. Nature's Way by Spirit, great tune that I think that you'd enjoy. Oh, I love Spirit. I got a line on you, Randy, California. And I got a line on you. I got a line on you, babe. Oh, I got a line. Great. You know where one of the great groups, just a minute, Spirit, the band. Yep, I got a line. Who is the bald-headed dude? Remember him? This was the original lineup. Randy, California. Ed Cassidy, who was his stepfather. You know where Randy, California got his name from? I believe they were working at Manny's on 40-something, all the great music stores here. Manny's guitars, Manny's this, Manny's drums at Manny's. And Jimi Hendrix at the time, either he knew, there were a number of Randys, either who played with him or he knew, and he called Randy, California, the Randy from California. That wasn't his actual name, by the way. He was born Randy Craig Wolf, who died, by the way, trying to save his son. Remember that one? I know I'm giving you too much information here, but I love that song more than anything else. His death, in fact, he drowned while rescuing his 12-year-old son from a rip current. There you go. One day we're going to talk about nothing but guitar. We're going to just... I was listening to some Greg... from Jeff Beck today, some Danny Gatton, King tone and just, oh. You know, I got to tell you something. If it wasn't for music, and if it wasn't for, it's how I start my day. It's my coffee. It's when there's music, when it's dark, and I get up very, very early. It's the first thing I hear. It sets my tone. It sets my... And how I love Spotify. How I love the ability to create themes and radios. Oh, anyway, enough with that. Now, I don't know where we're going to go in the immediate future. I don't know what's going to happen. But I want you to do me a favor and reaffirm something. That your notion of political parties are a waste of time. The only reason I would even consider a Republican is as an antidote to this. Oh, one thing about Trump, by the way. A friend of mine explained to me once chemotherapy thusly. He says, chemotherapy would never be given to somebody because it will kill you. The idea is to kill the cancer first before it kills you. But if you give it to somebody who just is fine, it will kill you. It serves no other purpose than to stop the ravages and the metastasis of deadly cancer. But it will kill you. That's Trump. Trump is, if things are going well, you don't want him. You really don't want him. Rudy Giuliani was like that. Rudy was great. If things were great, Rudy would go crazy. Rudy was terrific when all hell was breaking loose. If you are doing fine, you do not want Trump. Trump is a troublemaker. He's brash. He's braggadocious. He is larger than life. And he's necessary. He is chemo. He is radiation. He is surgery. He is required as an antidote against this lunacy. Because this, I don't know what it is. I keep doing this thought experiment, talking to parents and grandparents. You're not going to believe it. What's going on? I don't know. Every day is something new. They want to give gas stoves. What? What's wrong with gas stoves? I don't know. Because of climate change. What? Because of climate change. Climate change. There's climate change? Yeah. Well, always. No, this is different. This is different. You don't understand. Oh, and reparations. What? Reparations. Who reparations? They want to give $1.2 million per black person in California. What? Yeah. You see this man? Well, I shouldn't say this. There are people who might have been born one particular way, and they're competing against women in sports. Do you see this? And they want to do it. And the reason why, you might ask, is why aren't women trying to compete in men's sports? Because they'll lose. I'm sorry to say this. I said this to somebody the other day and they got upset. John McEnroe said that Serena Williams was one of the greatest tennis players maybe of all time. Certainly, maybe the best women's player ever. But if she competed against men, she'd be like 700. And they were going to crush him. They went crazy. CBS Morning News, Gayle King, who's going to be teaming up with Charles Barkley on CNN. That should be something. What's his name said? She'd be 100. She'd be like 700. You can't say that. He goes, it's true. It's true. I'll never forget this. This is before. And John McEnroe said, look, she'd beat me. I'm not. But in my prime? Oh, no way. No way. No way. Martina Navratilova, the leftiest person there is. Even she says, oh, no. Watch this. Watch mixed doubles. That's the only... When we get done, watch on YouTube. Watch mixed doubles. Watch a woman against Nadal or Federer. Watch this. Go ahead. Remember Colin Dibley years ago? Remember Roscoe Tanner? Remember that serve? He'd throw the serve ball right here and swat it from Lookout Mountain. This guy, his serve was he knocked the racket out of men's. No woman could handle this. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. And if you were to tell a relative of yours who came back from the dead, your relative would say, but this doesn't make any sense. I know. When did this happen? I don't know. Who's pushing it? I don't know. And the best are the people who used to be the lefties. Oh, these snooty. Oh, we knew this one. One in particular, she's a real snoot. Her daughter and her family are into all this, Ivy League, tennis and racket sports and squash and this and ladies. And well, guess what? Good luck with that. Little Morgan over there is going to lose that scholarship and lose that All-American and that letter and all that stuff. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And you wanted this. This is the most amazing thing in the world. People who are the most rational, open-minded, the most progressive people are asking themselves, where did this ever come from? And I can't even begin talking about Ukraine. I can't even begin talking about vaccines. I can't talk to anybody about this. There's nobody out there. I can't believe what has happened. And I'm still walking around seeing people wearing a mask. Now, still. And they can't wait for this to come back. They were never happier. Never. What happened to us? What happened to my country? What happened? And the only person who can act as chemotherapy is Donald Trump. The only person. I'm the one who says, no, but maybe this is different. Now, Bobby Kennedy, well, good luck. I don't know if Bobby Kennedy really is serious. I mean, I'm going to say, now, Bobby, do you know who these people are? Do you have any idea of who these people are? Do you have any idea who these people are? Do you know what evil is? Define evil. This is a very difficult thing. I want you to think about this. May I define it for you? It means something a little bit different. Evil doesn't mean doing something that's bad, because I can do something that's bad, but for different reasons. For example, there are many friends of ours, relatives, grandfathers, fathers, uncles in war who would send an artillery round into a village or kill women and children in war. They had to do it. They didn't like it. They didn't want to do it. It wasn't something that they looked forward to. And vis-a-vis the people that were affected, they probably thought your grandfather was evil. When Tibbets drops a nuclear atom bomb we did it on 2 cities after the first one. Let's do it again. Okay. Do you know how demented that is? But in their mind, they said, no, we had to do this. Because they always have the ability to justify why you've done it. You don't understand. This saves lives. Hey, they attacked us. I'm just following orders. Sound familiar? That's not evil. That's not evil. Because deep down inside, those individuals would prefer not to be doing this. No. Evil is somebody who does that, but does something else. They enjoy it. That's the thing. They enjoy it. It's that act. It's that. It's not alone. In fact, sometimes they do it unnecessarily. There are more evil people. Bobby Kennedy, you do know that, right? You do know that. I don't want to get into the specifics of the awful, horrible history of what this family went through. But I would say, Bobby, you still don't know what happened, and you're never going to find out what happened. And even if you came out and you said, I have the answer today. The following people were responsible for the deaths of my father and my uncle, and here they are, and they say, No, you don't understand. I have the names. It was, okay. No. You've apparently misunderstood what I'm saying. I'm telling you, it is indeed the following. Nobody cares, because we've only been listening to this forever. And not only that, Americans don't care. They don't care. You can tell them anything. They don't care about this. You sure you want to get involved in this? The level of evil is beyond anything you've ever seen. They enjoy it. They enjoy it. I'll never forget, I've always wanted to sit down, and if I could, I wish someone could explain, and nobody's ever really done this. They did a little bit, the notion of serial killing. Serial killing is that and others, but there's a certain degree of evil, and the evil is in the exactitude or the delivery of pain and suffering and fear and terror and dread. It's not enough just to do it. It's that other thing. And it's sadism at a level you can't. That's the evil part. And luckily, there are very few of these people, but they're out there. They are out there, and they have absolutely. The level of evil is so important. Do you know that you have in your head and your heart this little connection that you will do something sometimes? Ooh, I don't. You see that? If I were to say to you, hey, listen, why don't you, when you do the collections on Sunday, put a couple of bucks in your pocket? They'll never miss it. You think the Catholic Church is going to miss it? You're taking in thousands of dollars. Come on. I remember one time I helped my father. Don't ask me why. We would count the money from this one, I think it was a 12:30 mass or something. We'd be in the back. It was all above board. And I'm thinking to myself, even as a kid, I'm thinking, is anybody watching this? We're sitting here with all this cash and... Anyway. And the reason why you wouldn't do this, maybe, is a couple of things. One, you say to yourself, you know what? I can't do this because I wouldn't be able to sleep with myself. Okay, that's good. That's morality. Number two, you'd say, I could get caught. And if I get caught, I could be arrested and lose my job. Okay, that's two. Or I could get caught and lose my reputation and embarrass my family. And all of those three, they all involve something. The connection between head and heart. You can call it morality, no. It's simpler than that. It's a connection. It's consequence. If I do this, then this. And for whatever reason, you say, nah, I don't want to do that. Some people could say, I might get caught. I don't give a damn about the money. I don't like the Catholic Church. I'll take this money. Doesn't mean anything to me. I'll take it. But it's why? It's the fact that you made a connection. You thought. That's what a psychopath does not have. Does not understand that. There is no such thing. They lie because there's no connection. They lie because they don't fear. They lie because there's no reason for them to worry about doing anything because being caught means nothing. There are more people like that, sort of, than you can imagine. There are more psychopaths. By the way, these aren't murderers. There are people who do not. There's no connection. And we are building more of these. We're building them. Look at these kids today. Look at them. Look at their eyes. You can see it in their eyes. I can see it in your eyes. Lord, there's no disguise. What are you going to do for you? And when you look up, baby. That's Happy Anniversary by Little River Band. Sorry. When you see them, you see it. You look in their eyes, you know they don't have it. Oh my God. We are so depraved as a people. Do you have any idea? We are so depraved. That's why artificial intelligence for people running for office, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll give it a shot. Start out something simple. County commission or city council. I'll do it. Absolutely. I'll do it. We have a thing. You're going to love this one. You're going to love this one. How about this? This is in the New York, a new exhibit at a very liberal New York Catholic Church, one in our neighborhood, is raising some eyebrows for its religious take on gender equality. It's called God is Trans, a Queer Spiritual Journey It's a display at the Church of St. Paul the Apostle. And has some of its parishioners scratching its head. God is trans, a queer spiritual journey. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Is that okay? Do you think that makes any sense? Do you think that anybody's involved? Now, it's a free country. You say whatever you want. Did you ever think you'd be seeing that? What is going on here? What is going on here? How does this work? Where is the Pope? Does he believe this? God is trans? Could be. You tell me. Is that what that is? Is that what that is? Do you believe in God? And if so, what does your God think? I'm dead serious. What does your God think about what your fellow brothers and sisters are doing? What do you think God is thinking about it's their creation? I'm dead serious. I am not kidding you. What do you think about that? When do you ever think to yourself, what is going on? Is there anybody in charge? Is there anybody in charge? How can this be happening? We are seeing right now this level of, and by the way, let me also tell you something. Do you think that humans are basically good? I don't. Do you think that that humans are good? I don't. Do you believe that people are basically moral and good? I don't. Never. Ever. I think that what good is people not doing bad. I think there are people who just don't hurt people. That's the only good they do. I think you've gotten the impression I'm thoroughly disgusted with humanity at this point. And God, you're on your own with this one, because don't look at me. I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to alert the masses. I'm doing my own thing, my own way. I'm trying to get people to think. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do. And if there is some day of, answering or atonement, I think the old man would say, you tried. I did try. I don't know what I did, but I tried. I wanted them to think. They weren't thinking. Don't look at me. I'm not an apostle or anything. I'm not, believe me. But I often wonder about this. With all of this, Joel Osteen and Jesus and this, everybody praying, God must think, what is the matter with you? Let me also ask you, I can't speak for God, and I would never even dream of it. But, do you think what I'm about to say is out of the ordinary? Or out of the realm of possibility? Do you think that one day God could tell you, there are how many, 200, whatever, trillion stars in our galaxy, and there are billions and billions of galaxies in the observable universe, not the universe, but the observable? Do you think you're the only person, the only assemblage of life in every... Do you think you're the only Goldilocks planet? The just right between sun and... Do you think so? I'm dead serious. Do you think Do you think, and this is the one that gets me, do you think that maybe, as was said by the Vatican astronomer, that God does not necessarily have us as his only form of life, and that others may not have, get ready, original sin. No need for redemption, no need for born again, no nothing. That is an earthly. It's only done here with my UPC code, on my Dollar Tree. This is the most important. What if you said, oh, no, that's Jesus. That's here, only here. No place else. They don't have to do this. No. This is here. This is here on this planet. No other planet. They don't kill each other. They don't rape and murder and pillage. They don't. There's no wars. No, that's only here. You're doing it. What would this do to the collective sense of guilt? Wait a minute, what? That's right, Joel Osteen. We're not his chosen people. We're not even near that. We have to work for it. Those people are born and they get a pass because they're not corrupt. Mark of Cain, whatever you want to call it. Think about that. If there was no original sin. Now, I don't want to get into questioning anybody's faith. Please, it's not my thing. I do think about this, though. Because I always love these questions of God. Remember we owe God? Remember that? When John Denver asked George Burns, does he ever make a mistake? He says, yes. The avocado, the pit's too big. Big mistake. And he said, do children, remember the most beautiful thing, he says, do children go to heaven? Oh, yes, absolutely. Children, no problem. And he told Paul Sorvino, remember this, the evangelical, he said, tell him if you want to make money, sell earth shoes. He was very upset with that. Earth shoes, remember that? I'm dating myself. Remember earth shoes? No. Where they dipped in the back. Anyway. You really want to freak out? You really want to? The next time you go, the next time you have any kind of an assembly, raise your hand and ask your pastors or ask them. I'm dead serious. Do you think we're the only ones here? Do you think so? I just told you, in the observable universe, I don't know how many trillion galaxies, stars, the numbers don't even... The numbers don't even make sense. They don't have any meaning. Trillion? Don't forget, a million days is 2,700 years. This is like these numbers, a trillion? Do you ever feel insignificant? And then you look around and you say, we're not that great. What are we doing here? Oh, I have such a terrible, terrible version of humankind. Absolutely. Terrible. Terrible. I have such... No. And what has been done throughout history in the name of religion is not from people like you and me, but others. I'm going to leave you with that one. It's always time to be heavy. Always. It's always time to stop and think about stuff that really matters. Well, Gretzky, let me say something. Let me say... Oh, you hear that? Thank you so much for your kindness, in your beneficence. I appreciate that immensely. Fred Brown and his band of renown, thank you so well. And also Ford Frey, thank you so much for your kindness. And to you and yours, keep thinking. Question everything there is. Ask yourself constantly, what is this about? Oh, for somebody who is irreligious, I think about it all the time. All the time. Goodness, sin, evil, humanity. What does it even mean, humanity? Enough of this. It's Saturday night. My friends, you have a great and a glorious night. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your fellowship. We will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Same bad time, same bad channel. Picking up where we left off. You have a delightful and a glorious night. Please be kind. Please be kind. And remember this, as I always provide, this valedictory. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.